Hey Corey, hey y'all.
Hey guys, this is Day Traders versus the midweek review for October 22nd, 2025. What's up, everybody? I'm gonna just shoot y'all the video. I hadn't had a chance to go over it, but I'm gonna just drop the video here in the chat. How y'all trading week been so far? Anybody
I
trade?
haven't got a chance to
Yeah.
trade other than buying some stock.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't trade Monday and Tuesday. Today I was trying to buy a NAS, but it hit my stop loss.
Deal
Today,
breaker.
okay. Can y'all see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Today was kind of tricky. I won't lie. Uh,
Mhm.
we set in this range from pretty much this low to this high, all the way up until the 10 o'clock candle, and then we just just dumped, right? But there wasn't a lot of precursors to kind of say that that's what we were trying to do, you know. So I was a little back and forth myself on it. I didn't actually take a trade because it was 250-50 for me. And by the time we actually showed some signs, I had already kind of walked away on that one because this is ES right here, you know. We looked like we were gonna reject right here. This was right at the market open on the even though we sold off, we took this low and stayed in this low, right? And then we pushed up. Then this 10-15 candle kind of started the breakdown, and I could have got in around here, and I think we would have had a good setup to get in off of this and use the candle high to get a stop loss. But it was just kind of like 50, like it was just too iffy for me, and I don't blame you for not getting in anything or
No, the
taking.
same trade was in Nash also. I was trying to do that. First, I was in buy, right? And then it was, which you showed in this one. This was like a first FVG setup. So I was trying to do that, but I was not sure because I was looking for buy and it moved down.
Yeah,
So I thought not to do that.
yeah.
Mhm.
This was a little tricky. I can't even really say anything about not taking this trade or it being like clear kind of setup because it wasn't. And it was like more along the lines of, you do if you don't, and waiting for confirmation, you would have wanted to kind of see some like this was on the 1 hour. This is the last up candle until we got down here, and it was you would have had to definitely take this like on 15-minute or lower. So, um, but it is what it is. It wasn't a lot of news that drove this. I think this was primarily due to Netflix selling off, and it kind of that was the biggest news that we mentioned. We didn't. We also had like some meme stocks that reported, so like not a lot of details as to what could have even drove it down this far. But again, we still kind of inside of this candle off of the daily. Went all the way down into this gap, and we stayed inside of this candle. So this may have just been a fake out to think we were going to start a sell off, because if we look at it, we still inside of this inverted fair value gap right here, and then we held this gap, and then as we go to the lower time frame, we can see, hey, we got another inverted fair value gap. Now we still holding in this low we just made is pretty much at the middle of it, and we still kind of holding it up. You can see it again on the hourly. We traded through it, tried to sell off, and then we traded above it, and we still like just holding inside of this big range. And now once you see, like at this point, this fair value gap is inverted now and it's balanced. And we could actually use this to sell or buy right now. And this is kind of where we've been playing off of for most of the week. So I'm just going to extend this out. And then you'll notice I also added in the quarter levels, right? This lower third and this upper third, which we've been playing off of too. But at this point, it's inverted. And we kind of good to go in either direction with this. So, yeah, at this level. This is kind of the setup that we have for all of the pairs right now, all of the indices right now, because we are in this balance range, right? And we are pretty much sitting around the middle of the range, which is 67.19. We just above it, about 10 points away from hitting it again. We've tried to sell off in here once, twice, 3 times, tried to take the low out. We held a low here, and then we traded back above it. And now we are in, back in the middle of the range. So we really just created a high, low range, and then we've just been squeezing that range even smaller. So this was our high, that was our low. We made a lower term high here, made another higher high, higher low, and now we just kind of squeezing that, right? We just making this whole range is just becoming smaller and smaller and smaller until it decides that it wants to push out. So right now we got this week's high over here. We got our all-time high. That's just sitting, waiting to see if we're going to take it out. On the upside targets, downside targets is the high we just made. The high we just made today, and then that's these equal highs. You can see all of these highs right here are just kind of pretty much lining up with each other. So that's our little upside liquidity for the short term. And that's going to be a good draw for them to focus on. If we ever get back up there again, they're going to want to take that out. So we already know we got that money sitting up there waiting for it to be used. And then we also have money sitting below us with these two equal lows, and now this low we just made. So that's where our money's sitting at right there. And then if we take out this low right here has equal lows as well between this low and this low. So it's a lot of potential drops and a lot of targets that we can look at, with the most recent one being this week's low, which is this low right here. This is the low for the week right now. If we look on the daily, we can also see we are sitting inside of this. We tapped the gap that was on the daily. We can see it. I'm gonna take this stuff off real quick. We tap this inside of this gap, and we may want to fall into this again. I'm gonna go ahead and draw it out. So let's see what it looked like on the 1 hour. So yeah, you can see we pretty much still sitting right above it. So all of that lines up with the middle of this broader range. So it's just really just sideways right now. Even though we did sell off nice, you can see we still sitting all right. So now it's like, how do we react to this low? If we trade below this, trade back above this, we could be using this to sell off from. There is a gap here on the 1 hour. That's what I'm looking at as to, like, if we take this out, we'll go ahead and sweep these lows and then trade into this fair value gap. And how we handle that will determine if we go ahead and take this low out. So that'll be what I'm expecting. All right, so we'll see how that plays out. This is what I want to see for ES. One of these moves. Let me drop this in the chat. This is ES. And we got in Cube again, pretty much the same look, just different numbers, different heights. We did the same thing with ES.
Everybody, it's Tony Robbins. Listen, no matter how smart you
We did the same thing with ES and NQ. We got our gap, same as we do on ES. This one went a little deeper and through, and now we're actually like sitting inside of this fair value gap that got inverted, and we're sitting inside of the gap on Q. So we should get our first reaction off of whether or not this is ready to go on NQ. And that'll probably be our first trigger to say, hey, ES should follow it because it's either bouncing off of it or it's going through it. So, oops. Just like we had before, we're either going to be selling off of this we got targets here and here inside of this weekly fair value gap and below this previous week low right here. We pretty much met this with this move right here when from Sunday, where we see price trade up, it held up, and that's this move. This sell-off is pretty much this move that I was expecting for us to get right here. Well, if we go down that far, that'll be what we are trying to see if we actually sell off this hard. But we do got liquidity here at the low of this range. 343. This range at 24,717. That's the low of this inverted fair value gap, which we'll go ahead and mark on the chart. This is inverted now. Again, we traded up and through, and we tried to buy off of this already, and we tried to just go ahead and trade through it. You can see we got equal highs up here right near the all-time high. So a lot of times what you will see is right before we go into an all-time high, we'll sweep the liquidity and then we'll chase after it. So that'll give us an idea of how we need to manage this and how we go forward with this. If we see this gap that's on the daily, which is at 25,066 to 24,986, how do we respond to that? How do we respond? If we go ahead and sell off, We take out this previous day low, which was today's low. This is the weekly low so far. We take this out. That'll let us know that we possibly may be running for that fair value gap on the 1 hour that's below us and possibly taking out that low. That's right here. These equal lows and into this weekly fair value gap. If we don't, we know we can likely use this range again to buy off of. And then we go ahead and take out these highs to go ahead and run up for the all-time high, with our target still being around right now the 25,600 level. If we come down into this range, we could also be buying off of this. Again, we do have this fair value gap that's right there. We could see a bounce off of that. That's the next big area, which lines up pretty much with us holding the low of this inverted fair value gap, falling down into that. So we could see wicks into here, bodies above here. That'll be the sign that you want to look for to see whether or not it closed above, right? And then we again target this high, these highs, and an all-time high. And if we get above that, we can go ahead and target this 25,600 area.
So this equal lows or previous week lows is aligned with new week opening gap, last week gap.
Yeah.
Most probably probability is like coming down, right? Because that is magnet. Do you think like that?
Talking about
Last week.
last week's gap.
Like October 10, sorry, October 10. Go on 1 hour, 1 hour.
1 hour.
10 October. Below this equal lows. Yeah, this is the gap. Yeah, where is your cursor? Yeah, exactly.
This little one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. This lineup, yeah, this pretty much line up with it. So you're right. Let me look at that from the daily. So it'll be here to here. Yeah. It pretty much lines up right with those equal lows. And then we got this weekly fair value gap that's right below that too. So
Yeah.
it's got downside
Mhm.
potential. It's definitely got downside potential because of these areas.
Yeah.
So if we do keep selling off, we know where we want to see it go. Because
Yeah.
if it sells off, we take this low. These lows definitely are taken out
Yeah.
for sure if we sell below that. And then if we can make it below these lows, that's when this low comes in the risk. And now we looking at weekly projections right here. So I'm gonna leave this sell off. I don't think we need this. I think we got it with these in mind. So this pretty much lines it up. Okay, this is NQ. And to me, today, the best one the one that had the cleanest chart to trade from was actually YM. And you can see we just kind of shot up on the week opening, but I think YM personally looked the best to me, and I'll explain why in a second. Can go ahead and get this. See if we can hold inside of there down to this fair value gap here. Pretty much line up as well. If we get that line off of that, same thing. We got the gap, but we got this daily fair value gap. So let's look at the daily and the weekly real quick. So we took the all-time high out today, or this week. We took it out Tuesday. And then as soon as we traded off of the high, we went back inside of the range, right? We haven't reached the gap on YM. So this probably will push down into this gap since ES and NQ have already done it, right? So we do need to mark that up. Since ES and NQ have already done it, it's likely that YM will go ahead and do the same thing. So that puts us right above the midpoint of this 4-hour fair value gap. And you can see again also on NQ and YM, they didn't trade this far above this 4-hour fair value gap that we had on all of the time frames. But we did trade above it on YM. So this leads me to believe that if we do get a very nice sell-off on YM and that continues, we probably may or may not take these lows out, even though we may see them taken out on ES because we didn't trade that high above this inverted fair value gap. So this one might not take these lows if the other ones do. So that could be a possibility, right? And then that if it doesn't, that means we get our low somewhere inside of this range right here. And that's okay. We can be okay with that because that still lines up with what we seeing from the rest of the indices. It's just this one might give us a higher low. And if we were to put a trend line up where the trend gives us our lows, right? This kind of lining up with this giving us a low right here. If we look at the trend, right? Where we have one touch, two touch, a third touch, where the body holds around this 46,067 level, and we get a wick right around here at 45,858 level. Somewhere along here, right? If we just looking at trends, right? If we just looking at the trend line, and it kind of leads me to believe that this is probably what we'll target. If we look at the body of the candle, where we move from the wick to the body, wick to body, that puts us right in line with what the projection is for the low right now, where we come inside of this fair value gap right here. We get the low around 40, 45, 950 area. So if we do see sell-offs, I want to see us below this gap. Then once we get below the gap, get a rejection off of it, and we go ahead and sell off. And we at least look to target this inside of this fair value gap right here on the 1 hour to take out this low right here. Let me go ahead and mark that low. this low right here. And this is done. We tried to use that and it got used. So now this is what I'll look for with regards to YM. And if we do, the other thing we could see is if we do trade above this gap, we could see it hold and then buy from there. Those are all the scenarios I'm looking at on YM. We just gotta be patient, see which direction gives us the confirmation, whether we just get a run up higher, whether we get a sell off, hold and reject, whether we get a sell off, trade through, come back to reject, and then sell off again. That's why I always try to give y'all all the scenarios that I'm seeing. And it's just kind of up to you to pick and choose which one at the time that you're on the charts gives you the best confirmation at the time. So I'm going to always give you what I see from every angle, whether it's a buy, a rejection, or a continuation. And then after that, it's on you to figure out which way do we go. If we get either one of these setups, you'll know where to go, why we're going there, and if we should continue and what should be things that I'm looking out for. Right. And in this case, traded below this. Now it's in play in the opposite direction. Right. We got a high here. We took out this liquidity. It's gone. We took out this liquidity. It's gone. We took out this liquidity. It's gone. Right. And you can see whenever we get a sell-off, it's going to target areas, right? It's going to target. This was a low. It took that out right there. These were lows. It took it out over here. This was a low. It took it out over here, right? This was an area that it should have bought from. It actually tried to buy from it right here and pushed up. As soon as it got to the high, it sold off. And the next time it came back to this area, instead of buying it, it went ahead and sold off. This is what I mean when I say, hey, I want to see price try to close below it. It closed below it. Next time it traded back up to this, which was this candle, it immediately sold off and it kept selling off. Same thing right here. It should have been buying from right here. This was an inverted fair value gap. It got down to this level. It tried to actually buy from here. That's why you see this long wick rejection. It didn't. It couldn't continue. So it got above this daily fair value gap range. And then it sold off, traded back below it again. The next thing you do, used it again to sell off, again to go lower. Where did it go to? It took this liquidity. All of this got ate up. We came all the way back down to an inverted fair value gap. We tapped off of it and rejected it. Then came back to where we were buying, we thought we would buy from. Now it's no longer a buy area, and they used it to sell. They sold all the way back down to pretty much right back where we are, and then we pushed up. So that's what I mean when I'm saying like I'm mapping out what we should be expected to do. So you're not confused as to why I'm just drawing these lines, where my projections are coming from, and why I'm expecting certain things to respond a certain way. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And it's like every time we do something on the chart, there is a reason behind it, right? We just got to see like what was it that caused it in the opposite direction, right? So if it was something bullish, what bullish caused this to happen? What caused this to buy? And if it is something that caused this to buy, you know that if it caused it to buy and we get below it, it's probably going to be the same reason for it to sell, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's always usually the case, right? This was supposed to be a reason for us to buy this price gap. Once we traded above it right here on this area, we traded on top of it again, we bought, right? The next time we came to this area, we was supposed to buy off of it, we bought again, right? We traded up, we bought. Then the next time we came back to it, we traded through it, right? So what this was supposed to buy here, and now is no longer buying. So if you get a close below that, you can take the potential trade to try to sell it. If you were watching it at this particular time, you would have got a nice sell for over 10 points on gold, which is a lot of money, you know. Same thing happened here. It got down to this level. It was supposed to buy. It tried to. It didn't. It traded below it. Once it got below it, what was a buy area now is a sell area. It sell off from here. That's why once we got down here, this was supposed to be a sell area right here. But it traded through it and got above it and it bought starting right here. Now, the next time we get back down here, what does it do again? It buys off of this area. Now, the question is, do we keep these lows and continue buying to take out this high to trade to this area right here? Or do we take these out, hold in here, and buy up? That's what this is telling you right here. Or do we take these out, trade below this, and start going down into these levels right here? So that's the other trade. That's the other trade that I don't have that one drawn up. But that's the other potential where we take this out, trade below this to go lower. And take out that previous week low over here. Because we haven't had any retracements on gold. So that's why this is a possibility. Because we haven't had any retracements. And of course, if we get up here, we could also sell off from here. Because again, we already know this is now a selling area now. We could be selling off from here. So that's the overall look for gold. Whether or not this is going to happen this week, we just got to see. We got to kind of watch and see how dollar responds. How dollar is going to respond. Because dollar is sitting at a high. At least it was the last time I checked. Yep. Dollar sitting at a high. We still pretty much are at this fair value gap. And you can see from this low, we traded up into it and we pretty much sold off and rejected this fair value gap as you would expect it to do, right? But now the question is, since we didn't take out, we sold off from here, but we didn't take any liquidity, right? We traded into some imbalances. You can see that on like the 4-hour chart. We traded into this order block, right? And you can see pretty much we just held up right here around that order block and then bounced up off of it, right? So now the question is, now that we've held inside of this order block, are we going to hold these lows, these equal lows now? Are we going to hold these? Or do we expect for us to push back up into this and then sell off, or then we sell off from there and push down higher or push down lower, or do we trade higher into this range to take out these highs? Because that's our next level we need to be watching out for, these highs right here. There's our liquidity.
Again, like this is in between like 50-50 condition, but this equal low is again aligned with that gap.
Yep.
So maybe most probability it should come down, then it should take that equal highs.
Yep. This gap right here. You are absolutely correct, ma'am. And what's with this gap? A daily fair value gap. We would invert this order block. So it's a lot of stuff saying that this is where we probably want to go. And then this could hold here. We could hold here. We could push up, and we want to see, if we're going to push up, we want to see something like this. Hold on. We want to see price push up into this area, hold around the middle, then hold back inside of this again to go higher. And you would want, this would invert this range right here. Because now that we've taken out this high, you know, once we take off this high, we're probably going to get a retracement from taking out that high. But at that point, we should be holding near the middle of this to go ahead and take out this previous month high. Then the other scenario is, of course, we could be sitting inside of this range. We could sell off, come inside of this range, and then reject to go higher. Or we could see, let's trade below this, sell off from here. And then the last thing is, we do get to this range and we sell off inside of the fair value gap. If we sell off inside of the fair value gap again, that means we had to push a little higher to get inside of this range. And maybe we sweep this high and then just sell off. But then, and if that's the case, I think those lows may be intact. We don't have to worry about those lows getting taken out. And maybe we hold inside of this little small, this little order block right here with this fair value gap, helping hold us up. Hope this is not confusing.
No, complicated, but yeah, not.
Anybody else? I know Anna get it, but everybody else getting it?
Yeah, I'm understanding it better.
Okay. That's dollar. As far as options goes, right? So options, for me, I bought some calls on Grab, the November calls. I bought the November 14th calls. I bought some $6 calls. I bought some $7 calls, which you can see were 10 cents and 18 cents at the time when I bought the $6 calls. So those are just waiting right now for the move. I also added on some positions in NVIDIA. I bought the 1121 calls. I bought 230 for 45 cents. I bought some more of the 250 at 18 cents. And that was it for the options. The what I'm looking for on the option plays, again, We still could hold up where we are, which is what I really want right now. If we do sell off on this, I don't want us to take out this low. I want us to stay inside of this gap. If we just buy up, I just want us to go ahead and run. On this, we could see sell off here because this is now to the downside. I got this, should be here, should be looking like this. This is a gap to the downside, so we could see a sell off if we get back in this range. But by that time, we should be up again on this trade. And if we do need to take some money out, we should be able to take some money out right here on NVIDIA. Overall goal is that 200 price point. I still like the 200 price point. I'm not gonna really, I'm not gonna really budge on the 200 price point until after, if we don't get it before the year out. That's the only way I'm coming off of this. If we don't, if we for some reason we just start getting major sell-offs before the year is out, then I'll come off of the 200 price point, which we could, because we all know why and who is responsible for moving the market right now. This is NVIDIA.
So you took 230 and 220, right?
230, 250 for the 21st.
21st. Okay.
Yeah. And then on Grab, I took the 14 contract, the 11-14 contract. And I took $6 and the $7 strike.
Got it.
Let me put that in the chat. So Grab is the $6 strike. And that was, right now it's 20 cents. I'm just gonna say 20 cents. I don't remember what I took it for at the time. I don't have my phone open. And then the $7 strike at 10 cents. Which means that it's $10 per contract. Bought long. So that means that it's $20 per contract for the $6. And it's $10 on the $7 strike. I'm gonna drop that in the chat.
The level you put that is weekly or FVG?
What's that? Yeah, it's week.
Weekly, right?
Yeah. NVIDIA. I bought the 230 strike for 48 cents or $48 per strike per contract. And I bought the 250 as well, which I already had that. I'm sorry, I'm wrong. The 230 was 18 per contract. So that was $18. The 250 was 18 per contract. So that was $18. And that's what I did on that one. This was, oh, let me edit that. This was the, on Grab, the expiration is the 11/14 expiration. And on NVIDIA, they both were the 11/1 expiration, 11/21. So that's in the chat too. No other positions on there.
You are still in new or no?
Still in new. I should have bought some more. I missed out on it. I may be able to get some more on the new Neo. Neo is still pretty much where I want it to be.
Mhm.
Still at the range, so it's like I still got a chance to buy some because I was cool with buying it as long as we stayed between 678 to 622, and it looks like we're going to go ahead and do that. So not a lot of change. I'm glad you reminded me actually, because I'll probably go ahead and buy some more of the May contract. So um
I have one for expiry on 10/24, but I'm in negative, but it's still okay.
yeah,
That is not for too much, like I bought that for 24.
$24.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you good, you good. So
So on Monday I was like 4 plus. So I thought it will come up. At least I'll make 50%, then I'll close this.
okay, okay.
But no.
That's all right. Sometimes
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's all right. It's okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to sit a little longer than we want to.
Mm-hmm.
You might have to sit just a little longer, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why we in this for this is a long swing. So, you know, it's okay. We might have to sit in this for until at least January. By the time January gone, I want this to be done. You know.
Actually, my thing was like in October this is going down, right? And November it will come up. So I
Yes.
wanted to buy for 11/24,
Yeah.
but I got confused with month and I took 10/24. So my
Okay.
husband told me like you are in for 10/24, right? So I said yes. So he said this week. So I said no, no, 10/24. So he said yes, this week. Then I realized, oh, it was this month.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mm,
I'm in only in the May contract.
uh, yeah,
Okay.
and two in May contract, and one was because it was going down. I was expected that it will come up till 7, so that
Yeah.
was good one. Yeah.
Yeah. This is still in play, actually. Now that I'm really looking at it, this is still in play, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely still grab some of these, right? And you can get the $10. I would buy anything between $10 and $7 on the strike.
Yeah.
So you're still good on this.
Mm-hmm.
That this is actually a great area to buy from. Start trying to buy from, especially if you hadn't started a position yet. So I would definitely be looking into this. Let me see.
Corey.
Yep,
First, I'd like to ask you, what is NIO anyway?
that's the company.
Right. Okay, they're abbreviated for what? Exactly.
Neo Inc. sponsor ADR class. They're a AI related company.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, hold on, I'll show you. So you can see all the details here.
So where do I find this on TradingView, right?
Yep,
Okay, so how do I get to that screen right down TradingView where that little ribbon is at the top on the right?
this.
No. How I get to this? What I hit this?
I can't really hear you.
I'm sorry. I'm on my way to work. Uh, which icon do I press to open up that window?
The one that I'm scrolling through.
Yeah.
So once you click on this, I just have this in my watch list. So because I have it in my watch list, I can see this in my watch list. And then once I see it in my watch list, you'll see that any of these that we open up will give you the details of it.
Okay. There was something I was watching. It's like some kind of fun or something.
Uh-huh.
It trade kind of funny. It don't trade like a traditional let me see what stock it. It's kind of hard to explain. It looks real.
What
It looks
was
like
what's the
I forgot the name of the fund. It had something to do with senior citizens or something like that.
I don't know.
It just looked really, really weird. Like it'll have a bunch of huge gaps. Like they'll miss a price, jump straight up, and then it might have like two candles, and then it'll go back down, real choppy. It's not even choppy. It just have a bunch of gaps in it.
Mm,
But I ain't gonna take up too much of your time. I got to clock. I just review the session tonight, and I'll try to find out what I'm looking for.
yeah, if
And
you
I'll
let
send it
me
to you.
know. But a lot of times what you'll see is that particular asset may not have a lot of volume traded on it.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, I don't think they had a lot of volume at all.
yeah, they probably
They had a
don't.
lot of movement though.
And that's because it doesn't take a lot of volume to move that particular asset. And there are sometimes when, you know, you can see like the average trading volume in a company. Um, I don't know where you can see it off of here, but um, let's see. I gotta find it on here, but let's see. Let's try to see if we got it in here. So you can go.
Okay, I'm going, y'all. Continue with it, and I'll check it out when I get a chance to sometime.
Okay, yeah, I'll
All right, catch y'all later.
um I'll find out where you want to see it on here. I used to use some different assets or different tools to find out that kind of stuff that I don't have direct access to right now. But you can see like the average trading volume on each of the let me see, each of the companies. It should be here. Volume, momentum, volume. Yeah. I'll send you the links for it, but yeah, your volume will depend on whatever asset you're trading, and some assets don't require a lot of volume. That's really the easiest way I can explain. And what takes some companies a bunch of trade millions of buyers and sellers to do the same amount of volume for 10% move may not take another company the same amount because or take another company a lot more volume to do a 10% move versus another one. So any other questions?
No.
Anybody? Okay. Okay. Nobody. Another quick way to do this is just throw the volume on here. We can already see the volume over the last, let's just look at the last 12 months and we can get our own analysis from this, right? So if we just look at where we are, the average volume for most of the year sits around whatever this level is, right? So average volume is 73.43 is the average, I would say, as compared to the rest of the year. Where I'm looking at the volume here in this top corner, and I'm just looking at the spikes in volume. Most of the volume is sitting somewhere around this height of the volume candle. Most of the volume at least covers this height. So this height on this candle is around 53.34 on that. So I would assume that outside of most of these spikes, if we are sitting around 53.34, it's a normal trading day. Anything outside of that, like this day, it traded at about, on this day, it traded at 234.46. Trade here at 237. So these are all days where we had something out of the norm happen. These days are also out of the norm where you have 141.53 mil. So once you start seeing anything really above 72, around 70 million, that's when you probably having some huge event happen, right? We had earnings on this day, September 2024. For that year, that was one of the higher days for that year. So on that year, if we're looking at this, 125.46 million near earnings makes this move push higher. So seeing some of those correlations where this day was 100 million, that was earnings. That was the actual earnings day. Then the days following it was a lot of volume here, but then we fell off, right? And then we saw another spike on around this time frame, spike in volume here, which was even higher than the earnings day, right? And that was 180 million, and this was probably 200 million, right? Then we made this high and we sold off, right? So we just had a spike here. That was right before earnings. Then right after earnings, even though we were good, it sold off. But then a couple days later, we get 230 some million again. So that's kind of the scenario we want to see in this. We haven't got our latest 200 million or 100 million pop yet on this. The last one was on this day, where we got on October 16th. That was us holding this low. So now I want to see some follow through on that. If we get another 100 million volume day to 200 million, then we know we're cooking with grease, especially if it's going in our direction. So that's another way to look at volume and let that help confirm what you're looking for. So, okay.
Mhm.
I used to trade off of volume a while back, long time ago when I first started trading. Volume used to be one of my leading indicators, but it's a lagging indicator. So it's good to use after the fact and not while you're in the trade. It took me a little while to learn that, but hey, it's okay. It's good to confirm after the fact. So, all right. Any other questions?
I do have a quick question, Corey. In Robinhood, when I do because it seems like it's an option to do option when you do your option reward, you can either trade it or buy it.
Yeah, it always
And
gives you the option to buy the stock or to buy the option.
so if I buy it as a if I buy it, it's just like I'm in a stock. I'm gonna hold that position as long as I want to sell it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, because I accidentally did that on one of them, but then I was like, oops, okay. Well, I just hold this one. Okay,
Yeah,
I just want to make sure.
nothing wrong with that either. Nothing wrong with owning the stock and owning the option.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that's what happened because I didn't see it in it was weird. I guess I didn't see it in my stock portfolio.
If you actually bought it, it should be listed under your stocks and ETFs.
Hmm.
You should see it on your Robinhood.
Okay, I'll take a look at that.
Yeah, if you actually bought it, it would go under there. And then if you own the options, there should be an option section, and you'll see that there. And you'll see a section that says positions held, or you'll see something that says pending orders.
Okay.
You'll see it in your
Yeah, I
Robinhood.
got the option one, but I just don't recall seeing it in my stock. So maybe I it said I executed it. So
Yeah, yeah. And unless you got a lot of positions, you know, you might not see it at that point because you might have to actually click on it to see it. But yeah, other than that, it should be okay if you
okay.
actually
Ooh.
you see it.
Yeah. Yes. I see it.
You don't sound like you like what you're seeing right now.
No, I mean I'm not making money off of it yet,
That's
but
what that
I'm a hold it.
that's what that eel was for.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right.
It's all good. I'm in the option as well, so I just hold both of them.
Is the option up?
No, not yet.
What's this one?
Say it again.
Which one is this one?
Neo.
Okay, okay. So you bought the stock and the option.
Yeah, I did it on accident. The option. I mean the stop.
Stock. I
I
got
was trying to do the option and I was like, oh snap, I just bought it. I think I bought it. So that's what I was just confirming if that's really what I did.
you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you just hit buy, that's what you did.
I did. I sure did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep. I see it though. Thank
Uh,
you for confirming that.
no problem. No problem. No problem. Well, all right, y'all. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. We ain't gotta we'll have to get back on Sunday. I'll let y'all know if I get in anything um on tomorrow. Right now, I'm just chilling. I'm not trying to really press nothing right now. I'm so close to finishing my funded accounts. So I'm only looking for the best trades. And that's why I didn't really get into anything today because if it's not my setup, I'm not gonna take it. And today it just was too much of a possibility for it to be 50-50. So with that being said, I'm only taking my A plus setups, and that's it.
So we are talking about that funded account, right? So I told you about Apex, right? So I lost that, but uh, I checked my account, so I was paying for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I checked that again. So they said that this is your active account. So I don't know why, means how that was active, because I didn't get any mail and like reactivate reset anything. I didn't complete anything. So it was automatic reset. So and I have that account now.
Oh, okay. So you hadn't. It wasn't the funded account. It was still the combine account.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you never activated the account.
No, no, no. I was doing that, right? Yeah, and I'm talking about Apex, right? So I had that 3K, 300K one, and I made my maximum loss. So I lost that account. So that time it is means I was not able to do any trade, or it was like you are not allowed to do that. And
Oh, okay. So you were in a combine account, and then you lost. You hit the limit.
yeah,
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Once you all this time, I thought you were in an XFA or a funded account or already.
no, no, no.
Okay, yeah, 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 yeah. So anytime you in a funded account, as long as you know, even if you break the rule and blow the account, uh, the next month when you get rebuild, it's gonna automatically reset the next reset you a new account.
Oh, so I didn't have that the information, right? So I thought I need to buy. So I was waiting for, okay, when I
No,
get a good thing, then I'll take it. But when I saw that my bill, then I thought, okay, let me ask to them. Then they said that, that is like my account is active, and they reset that.
yeah,
When I get my first bill after that. So, but
yeah.
right now thing is that means I'm not able to connect in Tradeovate from TradingView. So I did that add-ons also,
Uh-huh.
but still I'm not able to. So I send them mail, and we are talking right now also. So they ask for a screenshot what error I'm getting. So I'm just talking to them. So now I got like, okay, and I bought one top step also. So now I have at least two.
So you did this straight ovate, straight ovate. And you log in. This is my trade ovate. You went start simulated trading, and then you went to here.
Yeah, I did that add-ons. Yeah,
Add-ons, and
yeah.
active
So
this.
yeah, so that's what I told them. Like I have that add-ons, means I did that trading view and order flow, and whatever was free, I did that.
Okay.
So, but still I'm not able to trade. So yeah, so maybe
So
they'll.
when you went to, you can log into your account, but you still on trading view,
Yeah,
still not letting you trade.
means I can log in into my trading account, trading view account, but can't do trade in Tradeovate. Means, but I can do it from here, from this Tradeovate platform.
This, but not in. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I had that same issue before, and I just kept doing it from here because I couldn't figure it out.
Interesting. In-
Oh.
I couldn't even sign in on Trading View,
So
but I could try it on the platform.
when you sign in, right? Let me sign out. So you go in here, Tradeovate,
Mm-hmm.
and you do demo. or do you try to do live? Because if you
I
try
did.
live, it won't let you in.
Yeah, I think I did demo.
And then it's the same password. And before you do any of that, you got to come into this, go to add-ons, and then make sure that you click on Trading View and click Activate. I did also add the order flow and hit Activate. And then also just check to see if the rest of these are the free ones are also added just to make sure. If you do that, you should be able to get in at that point. This is if you're using Apex.
Oh no, I'm not using Apex. I'm using
Top Step.
yes.
Now, if you're on Top Step, you should be using their Top Step X platform.
Yeah, that's what I've been using. That I couldn't figure out how to connect it to TradingView, so I just said forget it.
Yeah. I don't even know if they offering the Top Step on TradingView anymore.
Yeah, I don't do that. I use Top Step platform,
Okay.
and that is good actually.
Yeah, I just use the Top Step X platform. So
Mhm.
I
Yep.
think you'll do TradingView, but I would just use the Top Step X platform.
Okay.
So if you got an account that has TradingView, I would cancel it. And just
Oh, I already did.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't figure it out. I was like, well, I'm about to cancel this. This is like an extra, I think it was like $5 or $10 or something like that.
Yeah, this would the platform look like on trading on Top Step X right here. That's this platform. This is what you're looking at now, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yep. This is what you want. This is a new platform. I don't they got a sale going on right now too. I'm still under the old platform, but this is the new one. I was looking around in here to see like what it looks like. But last thing, ain't no news. We got CPI on Friday. And that's the only news we got this rest of this whole week is CPI on Friday. If we get it released, we got it at 8:30. So that should give us a move. And then next week it looks like we got some stuff, but who knows? We going on day 30, day 18 or something like that, or 22 for the government shutdown. So it is definitely something we got to consider. So, we'll see, have to just be patient with that. Well, right now, all we got is breaking news and earnings that is driving the market right now. So, all right, y'all. I will holler at you later. See you in the market on call Sunday. And if we talk during any other time during the week, peace out.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Corey. Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good evening.
Later.
Later.